Hey gang, Mike Raver here, aka Mike Rave Now, hanging out at the Parkers, that frisbee golf I was talking to you about. I just want to say Happy Father's Day, and yeah, blah blah blah. And there's a lot of great dads out there. There's a lot of great kids that want to celebrate their great dads on this day. But I want to talk to those guys who have that little bit of regret because they're not calling their kids. You're not able to stay with them for whatever reason. Call your kids. It's better that they know that you care about them than know that there's somebody out there that doesn't give a damn. And if calling your kids and you say things like, you feel like you may not have been the greatest dad, and don't worry about that, man. Every single kid in the world has been abused. There's not one kid that hasn't been abused in some way, shape, or form. I'm just finding out I was abused, man. Turns out my dad, I think he was one of those people who just doesn't like kids. But he would go to work for, 8, 10, 12 hours a day dealing with a asshole boss and then come home and have to deal with these little midgets running up against us saying, no, dad, dad, dad. It was a pain in the ass. That's why he turned into alcoholism for about 10 or 12 years. And he's doing much better. He's a great dad, understand. He provided for his family. He's a great dad. He's an even better granddad since he doesn't have to spend the time with the grandkids. And I'm not talking about my dad too much, but everybody screwed up somewhere. It's like Bill Cosby said, nobody gets that kid and says, oh, look at the little baby, man. We just see how much we can screw this one up. Nobody ever looks at that aspect. And if you're thinking that your kids don't appreciate you, man, call them and let them know that you appreciate them. That matters more to them than it does the other way around. And I'd give you another, if you're saying that your ex ain't going to let you talk to him, she's going to, or alimony or, child support, whatever, call your kids and just let them know, man. That don't matter, not one whit. And even if you don't get to talk to them, you still made the effort, and that'll go on a plus side when you go to court. Check it out. I had a buddy of mine. I worked for him. He was going to be my future brother-in-law. Fortunately, that didn't happen. But he had a son, and he lived with his ex-wife. And his son, he gets a call one day at work, and I was working for him, and it's from the sheriff's office. It says, hey, you got to come down and pick up your kid. He's like, what is going on? Turns out his son was crying in class, and the teacher, God love her, man, teachers like this just rock. The teacher said, what's wrong? The son said, I don't want to talk about it. What's wrong? Don't want to talk about it. Ended up getting a story out of him. And it turns out his 12th birthday was coming up. And in the state of Texas, at the age of 12, you have the option to choose which of the divorced parents, which of the parents you want to live with. So his mom, the night before, woke him up in the middle of the night, said, if you ever leave me, I will kill myself. That's a fucked up mom. The teacher ended up getting that out of him, took it to the principal. Principal called the sheriff's office called the judge, had a court hearing the next day. At the court hearing, his ex-wife and her mother said he's a bad dad. He does alcohol, drugs, cocaine. He's a terrible dad. He abuses, blah, blah, blah. Told everything in the book just to try and get the judge to vote in their favor. And the judge went, easy fix, Mr. So-and-so, would you be willing to take a drug test? Easy fix, right? If they're lying about it. To which he said, So the judge said, tell you what, I'll give you 2 weeks. You come back, take a drug test, and if you pass that drug test, I'm going to award you custody of your son. He told me this story, and I'm kind of like, congratulations, man, way to go. All you got to do is quit smoking weed for 2 weeks. Nice. And you're going to have your son in your house. How great is that? For a dad, especially. 2 weeks go by, he fails that test. I said, what the hell happened? He goes, well, I found this stuff, you take it, it's supposed to clear up your pee, whatever. And the judge, it went back to court. Judge, guess what he did? He said, you know what? I'll give you 2 more weeks and we'll take another test. So he said, all right. And I went, oh, well, at least you're getting another chance. That's great. Congratulations, you're going to get your son. Next time, he goes by, he fails again. It was like, what happened? He was like, well, they took a hair test. You dumb mother. He failed 3 times. He did not get his son because he couldn't stop smoking weed. That's why I say 98 out of 100 of y'all are going to get this benefit of looking good in court. You're going to get, the judge is going to award you court as long as you try. If you don't make an effort, if you owe alimony or child support, screw all that, man. Just let your kid know that you care about him. That's it. Just try and do your best to be a better dad, and in the process, you just might find out that you're a better person. And your kids are going to know that, man. Rave now. Talk later.